Welcome everyone to this Cloud Token presentation. Very happy you could be here. We're going to keep this quite a short presentation, but we're going to cover an awful lot during the next 20, maybe 22 or 3 minutes. We're just going to give the room a few more seconds to populate. We have guests showing up from Asia, from Australia. I can see people, boy, some night owls or early risers popping in from Europe, and of course a lot of friends from North America. Double check, make sure our audio is coming in loud and clear. From Japan, indeed. Fantastic. Welcome from Japan. So as I said before, this will be a short presentation, but we're going to give you a 30,000-foot view on the project, and then we're going to dig a little bit deeper. We're going to talk a little bit about something that may be new to you, this concept of fourth generation blockchain, exactly what that is, and how you'll have an opportunity to position yourself in front of that as something that we feel very strongly the world is going to be using very, very soon, and how to put yourself in a position to profit from it. So there's a number of ways you're going to benefit from the project. We're going to dive right into this right now. First of all, we want to make sure we cover the origin of the project. We'll do that very quickly. I want to talk a bit about the AI trading. If you're unfamiliar with the term AI, very simply, it's an abbreviation for artificial intelligence. So learning computers in trading is becoming very popular these days. Even the big dogs on Wall Street and companies that you would be very familiar with are using, heavily leaning on AI for some of their trading results. Of course, there's professionals behind the AI, but AIs are doing a better and better job of trading every single year that passes. We're going to talk about how to accumulate CTO. Well, first of all, what exactly is CTO, why you would want it, and then how to accumulate it. And then we're going to talk about some future tech. And I think this is probably what has me most excited about this project, and perhaps is going to be attracting the majority of people in the coming months. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about who we are. First of all, the Chief Technical Officer for Cloud Token is a gentleman by the name of Ronald I. Now, Ronald has been recognized for his work when it comes to fourth-gen blockchain, and specifically mobile-based payment solutions. In fact, he was recognized at the World Blockchain Forum in Shenzhen, China, just last year. This is about 6 months ago, that he was winning Innovator of the Year award. You can see a logo behind him for BitBeta Systems. And this is one of the companies that he helped found and was the Chief Technical Officer for. Now, BitBeta Systems is a Singapore-based company. It's registered in Singapore. And one of the things that they do is they focus on this fourth-gen tech that we've been talking about, and really bringing what I would consider sort of the holy grail of blockchain cryptocurrency development. If you were asking me what that would be, it would be something, I think, a technology that affects the most amount of people in the most positive way. And I think for me, it would be the idea to not only send money anywhere you want to, from cell phone to cell phone, but also be able to use your cryptocurrencies to pay for anything, anywhere. And we all know that is certainly where the future is going. How we get there, of course, is yet to be determined. But BitBeta Systems and Cloud Token, they have a very clear vision of what they see rolling out. We'll talk a little bit about how they're rolling this out and how you can benefit from what they're rolling out. So first of all, let's focus on their ecosystem timeline. This is for essentially the balance of this year. 2019 really started with the launch of the program, which was mid-May. May 12th was the official grand opening, and that was the launch of their DApp, their first AI. It was also the launch of this is a mobile phone-based wallet, so no laptops, no desktops. And it was also the release of their proof of concept document. This is really quite an interesting document. And while it's very technical, I would strongly encourage all of you to at least have a look through it. You can go to cloudtokenwallet.com, click on PowerPoint, and then start cruising through that document just to get a sense of where their head is at and where the ambitions lie. Also, you'll see this timeline inside that document. So June, July, and August is when we're going to see multiple AIs released. We're going to see upgrades. We're also going to see a little flexibility with risk-reward profiles in those AIs, usability, so people can have a few custom settings as they benefit from auto crypto trading during the course of the year and then in years to come. And then September, we're going to start to see a bit of a transition into the new tech. First of all, a Cloud Token news channel, large international events where blockchain is going to be discussed, crypto wallets, security, and then ultimately this ecosystem as it begins to roll out. And then where I'm most excited, of course, is when we start seeing things like the debit card-based solutions, which of course already exists, really any solution that's going to be adopted globally, obviously, is going to be one that has to blend the old tech with the new. When I say old, of course, we're talking about conventional banking. When we're sending money from bank to bank, we're using old Swift code technology that was developed in the 1960s. And then as an extension from there, of course, we have ATM, a huge network of ATM machines all around the world. So any new tech would also have to factor that old technology in mind. In other words, something like this, for example, a crypto to fiat solution so that you can convert crypto into paper money onto a debit card and then ultimately use that wherever you want to use it. Any technology that's sort of isolated on an island to itself really is going to have a tough time getting global adoption, and therefore the value of that technology probably will suffer. We're also going to see the rollout of global e-commerce partners. Now, this is a big deal. If you could imagine name brand partners, and I'm not going to drop any names here, but they will definitely be very large international retailers that many of you are already very aware of. So this idea of taking these CTO or cloud tokens and being able to spend them in any number of ways is key. And then lastly, towards the end of the year is where we really start to bring this really grassroots right to your own neighborhood. And that's sort of brick and mortar shops. You know, the businesses that we use sort of for our everyday quality of life, corner stores, favorite retailers, etc. So one of the things that Cloud Token is already in conversation with is the largest POS, that's point of sale machine manufacturer in the world, and the ability for you to actually bring this infrastructure to some of your favorite local businesses. Now, first of all, the first half of this year really is, for breaking this timeline down into two sections. We're really breaking it down into earning CTO in the beginning. And then obviously, if you look at some of this tech, we're talking about spending it in the second half of the year. So let's first of all focus for just a couple of minutes on earning CTO. Remember, we talked about, well, I said I would tell you what CTO is. CTO is the name of a token, the name of the cloud token. Now, it's important to understand this is a utility token. This is not an ICO, and it's not a security token. This is not something that you can buy. This is something that you earn as a reward. So this is key. Now, how do we earn it? Well, very simply, you can see from the smartphones on the screen that there is a fully automated AI, remember, artificial intelligence trading tool. The first AI that was released, and I think, no pun intended, but Jarvis, of course, is Iron Man's AI, and I think that was probably why and how it got the name. I think you'll also find the next AI to be released quite amusing as well. So you'll see under Jarvis, though, you have the ability to load Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and a number of others. And once you do that, the AI takes your cryptocurrencies and it puts them to work for you. So let's talk about exactly how that's done. First of all, that cryptocurrency is deposited. Remember, this is entirely smartphone based. So you actually have your own wallet in this phone. You can send whichever of these most popular cryptocurrencies you like to the wallet. And once they're in the wallet, they've landed, you can simply move them into the AI. As the AI trades, it's going to earn for you. It's going to earn between 6 and 12% monthly. Why not an exact amount? Well, trading is not an exact science. And so therefore, your earnings are going to fluctuate based on trading results. It is also important that you understand there is no contract that you're going to sign here. So you can withdraw and remove your cryptocurrency anytime you want to. Very important. So let's break this down for you. Here's an example of $1,000 in cryptocurrency being held in the AI and being traded on your behalf. So let's say, for some round numbers sake, for some simple math, which is a huge help to me, 10% would be $100 a month on $1,000 being traded. Now, this is actually going to pay you daily. So $3.33 is how $100 would be broken down generally over the course of a month. But you're going to be paid in cloud tokens, in CTO. Now, right now, those cloud tokens are worth 40 cents. So $3.33 worth of cloud tokens would be probably around 6, 7 of those a day, I think you'd be getting. So that is how you're going to accumulate them. Now let's talk about the features or the benefits of the platform itself. First of all, there is no packages for you to buy or pre-buy. There's no membership fees that you're going to get stung with. There's no monthly auto ship. There's no contracts, as we just discussed. You absolutely can benefit passively because this is a trading AI. And also your gains, your monthly gains, which actually come daily, you receive in the form of cloud tokens, which is a utility token. And that is actually going to be what drives this entire ecosystem as it gets rolled out in the second half of this year. So now, remember in the table of contents in the beginning, we talked about how you could accelerate your earning of CTO. Well, there's a very simple way to do that, and that is to help them expand their growing database as quickly as possible. It's expanding very quickly right now at the time of this recording, which is mid-June. So basically a month after launch, there is 300,000 downloads of this application, and these are paid accounts. So I'm not talking about free downloads, because you can download this application absolutely free from going to their site, cloudtokenwallet.com. These are paid accounts, 300,000 a month after starting. So needless to say, this concept is resonating with people all around the world. But what's really powerful is as that database continues to grow, and they're heavily rewarding individuals who play a role in growing that database, it brings much more authority. It brings the demand of much more attention when Cloud Token starts talking to large global service providers, retailers, travel portals, etc., different places for you to actually use your CTO and for it to become an effective system. All right, so let's talk about how you accelerate the acquisition of CTO. Very simply, if you use the example of a $100 on $1,000 as a 10% monthly gain, you have the opportunity to get a 100% match of the earning result of anyone you share this with. That's incredibly powerful. So you share this with 5 people, you're getting a 100% match. Whatever they earn in trading, you're also receiving. And then on level 2, that would be anyone that your friends share this with, you would still get a 50% match. And then there's an opportunity many levels down for you to get a 5% match of their trading gains. I'm going to show you in a much more clear and a quick way of how you could monetize this and how it would benefit you almost immediately. So this is a 5x5 example. Now, what that very simply is it would be you sharing this application with 5 friends and then helping them do the same. That's it. So in other words, we're only going to focus on levels 1 and 2. Just because the reward to you is so high, we don't even need to dig any deeper than that. So imagine if you share this with 1 friend and they put $1,000 worth of cryptocurrency, US dollars, to work, and they were earning on average, let's say 10%, that's $100. Well, you would get a match of that $100. If you shared it with a second friend and they were earning 100, you would also get a match. And right across the board, for the 5 friends you share with, they would each earn $100 and you would get a 100% match of their earning. Now on level 2, remember that's a 50% level. So this is 5 friends sharing with 5 friends. So in this case, 5 times. Now notice it's $50 and not 100. Why? It's still $1,000 and $100 earned, but that's a 50% level. So you're receiving 5 times $50 right across the board. So what does this mean for you? 5 people times $100, that's $500 to you, and 25 people times $50, that's over $1,700 per month. And this is something that the average person, because you can give this application away absolutely free, and then you simply send them a 20 or 25-minute recording to explain it, it really is quite a simple concept and easy to share. But it actually has much more muscle when you consider that you're not paid $1,750 US. You're actually paid the equivalent in CTO. So in this case, at a 40-cent CTO price, you're getting more than 4,000 CTO every single month. So over the course of your first year, it stands to reason, entirely plausible, that you could accumulate 50,000 CTO, 4,000 a month, 12 months in a year. What could that do? Let's say if the price was based on $3. If we simply saw a movement to $3 in the price. Now keep in mind, this launched 30 days ago at 30 cents. And we currently have a CTO price 1 month later of about 42 cents. So we don't know where it's going to go. We don't think it's going to go ridiculously high, but I think $3 is very much within the realm of possibility. That would be a $150,000 a year for you. Well, what happens if that price goes to $6? It would be a $300,000 first year for you. Exciting days for sure. But more than that, because we know this concept, and you're going to see the technology in just a moment, because we know this concept absolutely has legs and is proving to be extremely popular, what happens over a course of a number of years if you accumulated a couple 100,000 CTO? And what happens over those couple or few years if that price climbed to $10, for example? Well, now we have truly life-changing opportunity that's presented itself. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk a little bit about what has me very excited, which is this idea of spending CTO, this new technology that's being released. Now, first and most important thing for you to remember, you remember that photograph of Ronald I at the World Blockchain Forum 6 months ago? he was winning an award for technology. So what's important for you to understand is we're talking about technology that has already been developed. This is not a platform or a program where they're saying, coming soon, we're going to do amazing things, we're going to change the world. No, this is tech that has already been years in development. Hours and hours of people work being put into the development of this tech. I want to show you the first thing, which is important to understand because we talked about a debit card solution on that timeline. Now, if you notice, that was a cloud token debit card that was just dropped into a Citibank ATM. Now, this is in Singapore because the current head office for Cloud Token is in Singapore, but it is being moved to a larger location. I don't think they were expecting the growth they're seeing, and so they need much more space for their development teams. But at the time this video was shot, this was a Singapore-based Citibank ATM you can see on the screen. So what's happening here very simply? This would have been a case in their crypto to fiat. This is converting cloud tokens to paper money. Remember, ATM network is old tech. They're not going to know what a CTO is. They're certainly not going to be able to convert them for you. So those conversions are actually happening in your phone app. And then from there, you simply can go and withdraw paper money from your local ATM. But what I think is really interesting is this, and you'll see her pull that card out in just a moment, and you'll see the importance under the logo of that cloud card. There's a little security chip. And over the last several years, all debit cards have had this chip. But you'll notice also, oops, I apologize. There we go. So in this video, you can actually take a card right from your own wallet as long as it has that security chip, and you can scan it with your app and connect your own debit card to your phone application. So you'll see in here, this person is logging into the menu. The second from the bottom is how they're connecting their card to their app. They're being asked to scan the chip. Now this just takes a moment. Now this is a 6-digit password that you create for yourself. So this is simply a security measure. And then you'll notice what this person is going to do is actually log out. Bottom, there you go, that's log out. And they're going to attempt to log back into their application without using their password, but by scanning their card. And this will verify whether it worked or not. And there you go. I already know the end of this movie. So it actually worked. They were able to log in with no problem at all without actually having to enter a password. And so this is how you'll be able to connect your own card to your application. Why is this important? Well, if they've already grown by 300,000 paid accounts in their first 30 days, what's going to happen in 3 years? So logistically getting debit cards to 2 or 3 or 4 million people, well, this is a circumstance now where ordering a debit card is an option to you, but you don't have to pick it. And logistically, that's obviously going to help the company be far more effective in getting everyone integrated in ultimately what they want, which is entire global network. All right, I want to talk to you about the 4th gen blockchain tech, but I want you to listen to this video first.
Hello everyone, this is Anthony. I'll be doing the demonstration on how Referral blockchain technology works. I have 4 mobile phones here. They have downloaded the Referral application. Let's say I will choose this guy to be the merchant, and you'll be selling tea, right, at $888, expensive tea, generating the QR, and this is the customer buying the tea. You can see when I scan the QR code, it's waiting for transaction confirmation. So when I press OK, what you will see is that the merchant and the customer will do the transaction with a witness in the network witnessing the transaction. I press OK, and you can see the transaction and the witnessing happens. From here, you can see that the transaction is already written onto the blockchain. And the witness have a witnessing fee, right? That is to 999, which is this guy here. So if you go to the fee, you can see that we currently set at 1%. So he received $8.88. You can see it's also written on the blockchain, right? So now what we're going to do here is we're going to run a simulation for 1,000 mobile devices, right? So the entire Referral blockchain technology is actually running on mobile phones. There is no servers, there is no miners, and yep, we have 1,000 connected devices. And you can see from here, we are transacting at 26,974 transactions per second. All the transactions are written on the blockchain. The fees, the transaction itself, right? So the more users on Aura, the faster and more transactions we can process. So this is perhaps the fastest blockchain for transactions ever. Well, that's all for today. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so when we talk about fourth generation blockchain, really what we're talking about are networks of mobile phones. Why? Well, we know up until now we've been dealing with the Ethereum blockchain, for example, the Bitcoin blockchain, and many other companies are building their own. But with a server-based system and then miners having to confirm transactions, A, it's slow, and B, it's expensive. And so anytime that we're going to progress, ultimately being able to use cryptocurrency to pay for a pack of gum in our local corner store, it can't be slow and it can't be expensive. If we're ever going to replace some older technology, i.e. Visa and MasterCard, it's going to have to at least match their processing speed. Of course, the Visa MasterCard global network processes at about 27,000 transactions per second. Now, if you take a look at the purple box on the top there, the final number was 30387. That's 37,000 transactions per second. And that's on a limited test of only 1,000 mobile devices. It was actually said the more mobile devices there are, the faster the transactions are actually happening. So this, for me, is incredibly exciting. And this is certainly where I see the future of the blockchain going, at least one of those places for us, for convenience and for the benefit of all of us, especially get involved at an early stage and start acquiring CTO at a very low price. Now, the other thing that's key, there are many important, I listen, this company has not cornered the market on this. There are many, many companies that are working on this technology right now. For example, Hyundai, the car manufacturer in Korea, they launched a coin called the HDAC in 2017. I know because I bought a lot of them, and they're proposing exactly the same type of technology, and they're integrating it with face recognition and some other security things that they're developing. But the route that they took was a little different. They actually launched an ICO, and that ICO raised about $300 million. And of course, what they're going to have to do when their technology is ready for global release is, as you can imagine, they're going to need to make the world aware of it. So they're going to spend tens of millions, perhaps even hundreds of millions of dollars promoting their tech to try to get adoption on a global scale for it to really have any worth. Whereas what Cloud Token is doing instead is they've actually brought AIs in to give us an incentive to share with others. And through this process, they're building a network into hundreds of thousands already, and then ultimately into millions of end users by the time they're ready to roll this out, beginning in the fall and then 2020. So it's simply two different approaches to solving the same problem. But I really like this approach. I love the idea of being able to share this technology with friends and also being able to allow them to benefit while we're waiting for integration. So to wrap up very quickly, I want to talk about risk management because, of course, this isn't my company. We don't have a crystal ball. There's been tons of technology over the last 100 years that hasn't gone the way it's been planned. And so I want to talk a little bit about managing risk. First of all, you all know that you receive your own internal wallet that holds CTO when you join. And in that wallet, when your AI is trading for you, you remember your reward is receiving cloud tokens. Those cloud tokens are going to accumulate. Now, if you want them to accumulate as fast as possible, I would suggest that you work with me and we help you do a 5x5 build. And of course, once you've accomplished that, that's going to continue on, long after you are involved in the process. So your CTO will continue to accumulate. But what that's going to do is it's going to actually earn you a good amount of CTO while the price is low, which is really when you want to be earning it, so that you have more by the time we start launching all the opportunities for you to spend it. Now, the second thing I'd like you to do, though, and this is part of the risk management, is take a certain amount of that CTO that equals the amount of cryptocurrency you put into the AI. Don't withdraw the crypto and the AI, keep it working for you, but withdraw an equal amount of CTO, convert that to Ethereum, and put it right back into your external wallet, whatever or wherever that happens to be. And now you're safe. all your capital has been removed, converted from CTO into Ethereum. I actually did this for the first time this week. So 3 weeks in, I converted a couple $1,000s worth of CTO into Ethereum. It took about 10 minutes to convert the CTO to Ethereum, and then it was sitting inside the Ethereum wallet in my phone. In fact, you can see that on the phone app. It says ETH underneath CTO on the super wallet. And then from there, I very simply sent it from that phone wallet into my Coinbase account. That was the end of it. So with that, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to be here. If you are here for the first time and you haven't actually downloaded that application for free, please make sure you do so. But to progress any further than a free download, you'll need to make sure you get back to the person that sent you there to get the referral link so you can finish the sign-up process. And if you're here as an existing Cloud member, well, great. It was great to have you. Remember, we do these Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays for evenings in Europe and evenings in North and South America. So on the same link, looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Thanks everyone for taking the time to be here.